Hey guys, what's happening? Today is June 11th. Hope everybody's having a good day. My day was going pretty good till now. This morning my pap's chisel plowing and I'm mowing our grass hay across the road here in the pasture fields. And I have no clue what I hit, but our disc bind flew apart. The bolt that holds on this disc bind, it has things called shock hubs. So they sit down on top of these gears here, and if you hit a rock or something, instead of busting things up on down in there on the actual module itself, it'll shear the splines off of this shock hub here. So the bolt that holds that shock hub on snapped off when I hit something. Now, that's not supposed to do that. It's supposed to shear things off, but I have no clue what I hit that snapped it. But now this whole piece here, they call it the top cap, that's ruined. Luckily we have one. I like to keep that stuff on hand because we break these pretty often. So I could get that changed out, just 4 bolts, and then I got to make sure I get it timed right, because if you have it out of time, that screws everything up. It can be quite a long process. Got the new top cap put back on there. Dad actually put it on and fired her up, and she's hitting. So evidently it's off one tooth. But the weird thing is it's moving freely, but as soon as you start it up, it's hitting. We got her going again. The one other shock hub was out of time at the other end, the cutter bar, so we had to put a new one of them on. So I hope it fixes this thing and we can get this hay mowed. We're mowing here now. I don't think the disc bind's 100%, but it's working. It's getting bleed out. It's starting to get some play, and the turtle shells back there, there's shafts that run between each of them, and over time the splines on those shafts get worn down, and when it's spinning around so fast with that play, even if it is in time, it'll still hit. And I think that's what's going on right now. Dad did put a new shaft in the one. That was after he replaced the shock hub and the top cap, and it still sounds like it's hitting at a certain RPM. It don't hit at idle, but as soon as you rev it up, it's hitting a little bit. Don't got a whole lot of days to get this here hay made, so that's why we're running it the way it is. We can fix it on a rainy day. Gotta try to dry bale this stuff. I'm not sure how well that's gonna work out. It's supposed to be pretty warm, up to 90 here the next couple of days, I believe. It's supposed to be nice, but the only problem is with the smoke from the wildfires, that doesn't help our hay drying at all. Preventing the sun from actually shining down and soaking up the moisture as much as it would on a normal day. We'll come through here and hit this with the tedder maybe this afternoon or tomorrow, and it's pretty heavy, so I think a good bit to get it dried out. Broke down again mowing hay. Had one of the modules go out, and then the shaft that goes between the modules, the splines stripped off of it, and the splines are stripped out of this piece here too. So we gotta get a new one of them tomorrow, and we gotta return this core here. But we got the head all tore apart here. It was working all right for me for a while, and then I had some hay get tangled up. We brought it down here, cleaned the hay out, back up the mill, and it started chattering like crazy. So we were trying to figure out if one of these was off time at all. We changed them around a little bit, and then we could start it up and it wouldn't hit until you revved it up, and then until you got some speed going, and then you could tell it was definitely the shafts, and the actual modules itself were worn on this particular one here. So hopefully tomorrow we can get the parts to get this thing going again. But I only got like 3/4 of that one filled, the smaller field mode across the road there. Gotta take a break from doing hay. Got the chisel plow and the tractor fueling up here. We gotta go do some chisel plowing tonight. My pap was running it all day down at the river where I started last video. Got that all done. Got some more ground to chisel up yet, and then we'll be hooking the disc back up and hopefully getting things finished up here. Still got about 150 acres of corn to plant. It's starting to get on the late side of things, so we try to get as much done as possible here. But when you're working with Mother Nature, things don't always go as planned because there's another chance of rain this weekend. So hoping we can get a good bit of the corn in, at least down at the river there. That'll be a big help, especially a farm like that the furthest away. Be nice to get that in, but we'll see. We'll work. We can only do so much. Should be ready to go chisel now. We got a new seat in this 2294. Anxious to try it out. It's the same seat as what's in the 125. It's a Grammer air ride seat. We got rid of the old hydraulic seat because it was leaking, making a mess in the cab. And the suspension was kind of getting wore in it and wasn't very comfortable anymore. The cushions weren't half bad, so I took them out and put them in the 2090. So it has decent cushions now, but the seat here, pretty nice. Well, unfortunately, I lied to you guys. I ain't gonna be doing any chisel plowing tonight. The wheel bearing's out on this dumb thing, so pretty much all of our equipment's broke down now, so we're sitting pretty good, I'd say. We can move on to plan C for the evening. I think plan C. Was gotta mow hay. Was got a chisel plow. Plan C is hook the 8 up to the hay tedder. Go over there and kick that hay out, what we have mowed. Maybe, just maybe, we can get it dried tomorrow. If I head out tonight, let it dry, rest of the evening, and tomorrow morning let it lay for a little bit. Then around dinner time we'll get it raked up, let the air get to it, and then maybe tomorrow evening we can bail it before the dew sets in. Hopefully this old girl don't let me down like everything else did today. Should give this girl a shot of diesel. She hasn't had any in a little while. It's pretty easy on fuel, but we rake a lot of hay with this thing since I filled it up last. Need to get the fuel gauge working in it. I was looking at it when I was working on these lights. The sending unit's like right here, and it's easy to get to, and they don't cost that much, so another winter project. Nice air going. That'll help dry the green stuff out. Now it'll get wet overnight from the dew, but that shouldn't be quite as damp tomorrow now that I hit it with the tedder. It'll still dry some tonight. This still got maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours daylight left tonight. So It'll dry some yet. Should be in pretty good shape tomorrow. It is the next day here now. Down here in the fields of a farm, down on the river. Doing some discing here this morning. My pap chiseled this field up here yesterday. This was a field, big field down here that I started chiseling the last video and I got rained out. And then there's two smaller ones here below the tracks. There's another field up above the tracks there too that we do. The field's got some wet spots in it and some places out the other end where it's shaded pretty good for most of the day. And then there's also spring out there. So it pretty much lays wet out there on a dry year. We're just discing her in anyhow and just gotta plant around the wet spots. It's getting pretty late now, we can't be waiting. New air ride seats working pretty good in here. Don't need no GPS or auto steer. My eyes are good enough. I can finish up with the perfect 18 foot that I need. Crazy how that works. It's working out pretty nice. Now out here at this end, it's all right because it's always fairly dry out here. But out at that end's where the wetter ground is, so it's once I get through it once, and there's a good air going today, and it's supposed to get up around 90, so it can make a difference. And then get through and hit her again later on today or tomorrow. It all depends on what all I do. Probably go over this field once and then go over and get them twice, and then come back to the big field, and then those two over there will be ready to plant then. Boys, it's nice to see the dust rolling. I made it down here a ways discing down there close to the river now. It's coming along here and I thought I smell diesel fuel, and I looked down here and this front end is covered. This one lower line here blew out. Must have rubbed through along that frame rail there. It's come apart here at these fittings, and hopefully we can get her fixed up and running. And for some odd reason, I should probably pop the hood in here to help things cool off. But the tractor wasn't even, you know, the front end's plugged up a little bit. The tractor wasn't even getting hot on me, and the overflow on the radiator started pushing water out when I shut it off. I don't know, couldn't hardly give it a chance to idle back because it had the freaking diesel fuel spraying everywhere. But hopefully there's nothing major, and it was just got a little warm there from not getting enough airflow through the front there. I don't know. Who knows? The way things have been going for us lately, it wouldn't be any wonder. Everything keeps breaking. We got that fuel line fixed. Back a disc in here now. I pretty much have that whole big piece. I'm over it once. But the problem is, down there next to the river, it's too wet to get through. I can't even hardly get through it with the disc raised up the whole way. The mud just wants to build up in front of the tires and was overheating the tractor, and it's not worth it. It's not worth the toll on the equipment over it. So I come over and I'm in the smallest piece now. There's 3 pieces here below the tracks. The furthest one over, the smallest, getting it worked up. Go over it twice and I'll move over to the middle piece, and it'll take a little bit to get it worked up. It's a little bit bigger than what this one here is, but it's a little more shaded over here. I figured I'd come over here and be a little easier on the tractor. Always neat to see the trains go by and they're down there working. Every once in a while you'll catch a load of John Deere tractors going. Like, you don't see them too often like you used to. Back when I was younger, I used to see tractors go on the trains all the time. They would be going to the dock to ship them overseas. But now you think about it, most tractors are made overseas and shipped over here now. You mostly just see some John Deeres that have the European badge on them, like those, like the reflector things. I don't know what the technical term is for them, but you can tell them apart from American tractors. But most of the smaller tractors, like our 125, it was made over in Europe. CNH has a plant over there, and I'm going to imagine John Deere's tractors. I think the smallest tractor you can get out of Waterloo is a 7R, I want to say. As far as row crop tractors goes, it'd be a 7R. Magnums are the only row crop Case IH tractor that's built here in America anymore. The Puma and the smaller, they're made in Basildon, England. That's where our 125 was made. I'm not saying it's poor quality, but I mean, when you have something that's stamped with America on it, it definitely means more about the product. At one time, you know, these tractors here, they were made in, right there if you can read, they're made here in America. Nowadays, your row crop tractors aren't. Another reason for not seeing as many tractors is there's not near the market for new equipment as there used to be. You know, you gotta figure in the cost of new tractors today. I mean, who wants to pay that price when you can go buy a used one for half the price? It might be just as good of a tractor. Got those 2 small pieces all tore up. I'm gonna go over this big piece second time here now. Gonna start down at the river, see if some of this dried out some, and if it's too wet, I'll just work around it. It's not a big deal, but still got a lot of ground to cover before the night's over. Got her all done for the day. It's 10:02 right now. Everything below the tracks is done, ready to plant tomorrow. Still got the field up above the tracks to do yet, but I'm calling her a night. That'll be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, like and subscribe as always, and catch you guys later. I'm going to bed.